Hello, and welcome to our end-of-year webinar for the Hawaii 4-H Military Partnership. The end-of-year reports are needed for data collection for reporting purposes, to wrap up our year, and for you to have input on our 4-H Military Partnership. The end-of-year reports help us report on the following military partnership outcomes, which are: youth will develop problem solving, decision making, communication, and collaboration and leadership skills. Youth will contribute to their community through service and civic responsibility. And lastly, youth will acquire an understanding of a subject matter in a given project area. You will need to fill out a report based on the subject matter that your club is working on. These areas are science, healthy living, citizenship and leadership, creative arts, and clover bed programming. You can find these forms on our Hawaii 4-H Military Partnership website. I will now show you an example of a filled out form. All right, let's go through an example here of an end-of-year report for our Clover Bed Club. Clover Bed Club is a 4-H program for youth, kindergarten through 2nd grade. The form asks for the name of the club and the leader. If that leader is no longer at the site, then have the next best person fill out that report. So here we have our name of the club. We have our 4-H Clover Bed Club. You are allowed to pick whatever name that you like to have for your clubs. Then the name of the leader, myself, Kate Eichstedt, with the phone number I can be reached at if there's any other questions. And then the name of the person completing this report, which is the same, myself. Next, we have you list the title of the 4-H curriculum being used. So for this club, we used the Big Book of 4-H Clover Bed Program. And it is a state from Ohio State produced that book. So you can list that there. This information can be found on 4-H curricula. However, if you did not use 4-H curricula, then please indicate what you used to create your project or program. Okay, moving along here. Number of volunteers who assisted you with the 4-H club. So this would be unpaid people, perhaps a parent or community volunteers that helped. So we're going to list the number. We had one volunteer, we had a parent, and this parent helped with a sewing activity, and they helped for about 2 hours. So we listed them for their help that day. All right, continuing forward here, list the 4-H trainings, conference calls, and webinars that club leaders for this project participated in. So if you needed to set up a conference call with me to talk about your club, please list that. Club here, we have this person attended the 4-H 101 training in Honolulu. They also had 4-H Clover Bed webinar training, and they also did a 4-H end-of-year webinar to help them with their club. So we listed that there. We ask that you do a minimum of 10 hours of activities in your 4-H club. If you did more, which many clubs do, please share that in a separate document or at the end of this document. So here we had 10 sessions that we did, and we started out with our Clover Bed display, kind of letting the kids learn about what their program was, and then as 4-H Clover Bed programs are, they're exploratory, so we are not focusing on one project, but learning about all the different things that 4-H can be. So we have healthy living, diversity, citizenship, sewing, environment, entomology, STEM, that we did within our 4-H time together. So if you can list your activities that you did, many of these might have changed, so the final list of what you did can be put on your end of year report. And then over here, if you can indicate the participation numbers. If you'd like to describe more detail, or if you have more to list, please feel free to attach in a separate sheet. All right, so we're going to come down here to our bottom of our first page here. We're going to ask a few questions about participation in a few different areas. So number one would be demonstrations or presentations. In 4-H, there are many ways to show mastery of skills that you learned. If your 4-H club did any teach-backs, presentations, or demonstrations, please indicate that here. Since this was a Cloverbed group, we did not do this, so we have 0. Next, we have number of club members who completed a 4-H record book. And we had all of our club members do record books. We did the Cloverbed record book and did that at the end of each 4-H time. And then the last one here is the number of youth in this project that recite the 4-H pledge. And since we started every 4-H session with the 4-H pledge and had the youth rotate being a pledge leader, all of the youth were able to recite the pledge. Community service is another cornerstone of the 4-H program. Please share about any service projects that your club completed. For our Cloverbed project, the youth helped do a neighborhood litter cleanup. And then what project skills did the youth use in this service project? So they were able to learn about serving others. They were able to follow safety rules. And then you can list any other life skills that the youth might have learned. Since this is a Cloverbed age group, we do not include the survey questions for this age range. Moving forward, we have youth responses. Please ask the youth about their 4-H experience and collect quotes that give a feel on how the youth connect to their 4-H program. Here are a few examples. I like this one here about, I want to join the cooking club next year. This is a great example as it shows that the youth connected to 4-H and can see how 4-H can help them in their future and what they might be able to do next after completing a Cloverbed club. The one that says, I like the day we got to sew. This is some other great information to collect on the interest of what youth are wanting to do at your site. So just from participating in the Cloverbed Club, you might see that there was a few areas that they were really interested in, and that the next year they might be able to do that as a project. Okay, moving down here, the club leader responses. Since you are the front line of the 4-H programming, we really like to hear what you viewed as success in your program. So we have several different questions here to fill out to the best of your ability. So what did you enjoy about this 4-H project curriculum? So the curriculum was easy to use. I was able to do my planning quickly, and the youth enjoyed the hands-on activities, and it kept their attention. So the question 3 here, what would you consider to be your club's most significant accomplishment? So you can talk a little bit about what the goals of your club were, and if you accomplished those, and what you thought was the great accomplishments when you ended your project. What have your club members learned through their 4-H project experience this year. And so this is where you can talk a little bit more about the skills that were created during that time. And number 6, please include photos of club meetings and projects. Please send to military4h@ctart.hawaii.edu. And then there is some additional space for you to fill out anything that you feel would be important for us to understand or learn about your site, to help us get a bigger picture of what your 4-H program looked like. There are 4 survey questions that we ask you to survey the youth in your club to gain insight on the skills built. Survey questions are designed for each focus area, which include science, healthy living, citizenship, and creative arts. There are no questions for Clover Bud programming. Here are some examples of some quotes that we have used in the past. Quotes are a glimpse into what the youth gain from their experience in their 4-H club. Here are some examples. I like when we can all be doing the same project and end up with different ending products. That's from a 4-H participant in an art club. And here is a quote from a club leader. I really enjoyed watching the youth being able to express themselves in a setting that was outside of our building. We were able to not only grow plants, but learn about themselves and grow out of their own comfort zones. And here's another one from a youth that participates in multiple clubs at her site. I like that there are different clubs to try out in 4-H. There's something new to learn about. We ask that you send in digital photos to show 4-H in action at your site. Feel free to send in the most convenient way, whether that is via email or Dropbox. And lastly, in addition to the end-of-year reports for each club, we ask that the director or the 4-H point of contact at your site fill out an overall Google form. A Google form link will be given to each site. Thank you very much for all that you do, and we look forward to hearing about all the awesome things that you did this year with 4-H. If you have any questions, please contact me, Kate Eichstead, at military4h@ctart.hawaii.edu. Thank you so much. Have a great day.